What's going on, Pizza Fam? Listen, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to make a quick shout out to Thrive POS. They've recently partnered with the podcast and they bring an exclusive offer for our listeners. Listen, Thrive POS is not just a POS system. It was built for operators just like us. It's fast, it's reliable, and most importantly, it helps us focus on what matters: our pizza, our people, and our profits. Check out the exclusive offer from Thrive POS at thrivepos.com/Pizza King, or just click the link in the description. Now let's get into the episode. When the prep's not done and labeled, the line's not stocked, the boxes aren't folded, the cups aren't filled, the sides aren't ready, the bags aren't, like, all of these things matter. So you have to methodically go through, pre-rush and make sure that you're ready for whatever is about to come. And then let it be a surprise if it doesn't come. But it should never be a surprise that people are ordering food from you if you're in business, right? You shouldn't be caught off guard by dinner rush. What's going on, Pizza Fam, and welcome back to the Pizza King podcast. I'm your host, Tyrell, and today is Thursday, so we're doing Takeout Tips. Got a real simple, easy, quick one for you today. Stay ready. Stay ready. Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And I know that sounds so cliche, right? We've always heard that. Our dads and our granddads said it to us, and I still say it to my kids, but it is true. And in the restaurant, it's even more true. Quick little story. Really not even a story. I had to go back into the restaurant, right? Leave at 4:00, 4:30, like I always do. But I had to go back in because they were getting killed. And it's the biggest fear of owners, right? And this is why we never let go, and why we don't grow, and we don't have managers that take over, because as soon as we leave, things start to fall apart, or they can't handle the rush. And that's that fear, right? I can't give over control because they can't handle it. They can't take care of things when I'm not there. Something's going to go wrong. And if that's happening, it's probably not about the people or the team. It's not a problem there. And the problem's not the rush. The problem is we don't really have a system for handling the rush without you. And, going back to my corporate days, we used to have a process called Ready for Customer. And if anyone out there has worked, for Yum Brands, or, in any of those, for any of those Yum Brands, or you worked in a corporate system, they probably have something similar. If it's ready for rush, or Ready for Customer, or, just a readiness checklist for peak periods, you already know how important it is. And I'm here to encourage owners to do the same thing. So think about it like this. Have you ever gone to like a haunted house and you go through it the first time, you got a couple jump scares, and, you weren't ready for that. It caught you off guard, but then you go through a second time and it's nothing, right? Or you watched a horror film or a scary movie, and it got you on your edge of the seat a little bit, but then you watch it for the second time and it's like, oh, that was nothing. What was I doing? And it's the same thing in the restaurant. The rush happens. You get your butt whooped, and we've all been there. We, thought it was going to be slow, and then all of a sudden you got 20 orders. You got people waiting in front, and it's like the panic is there. That's not a problem with your people. That's a problem with your system, right? Nothing is scary when you know what's coming, right? It's not scary when you know what to expect. And my tip for you today is to help your team be better prepared for those busy periods, or for those times when they have to operate without you. Because you're never going to be able to leave. You're never going to be able to get a day off. You're never going to be able to take a vacation if you don't have the right systems in place to help your people handle those situations. You can make it simple. A simple checklist. Hey, do we have dough pulled out? Do we have all of our backups stocked and ready? Do we have, the printers ready with paper? Do we have boxes folded? All the little things start to matter when it goes down. And I had to go back into the store the other day because they were getting killed, and it was like, I got the 911. One of them called me on the phone like, you need to get here. And then the other one had texted me like, need you. And so I'm like, all right, I'll be there. And I only live a couple of minutes away from the store. So I'm like, all right, I'll get there. But when I get there, it looked like World War III had happened. And, there's, the floors are a mess. There's boxes, there's dishes everywhere. The lines look crazy. because they weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for the dinner rush. Maybe they thought it was going to be a slow night because it had been, maybe it was a pretty slow afternoon. And all right, well, we thought we were ready, but we weren't. Look, the spaghetti sauce wasn't filled, and the line wasn't ready. So you're running back and forth, and all of that causes just a little bit of extra chaos. You know what I mean? When folks aren't prepared for the things that come in. So listen, if your store runs fine when you're there and then falls apart when you leave, like I'm telling you, it's not bad luck. That's your system. Dinner rush exposes what you did and did not prepare for. Be ready. Have a quick, simple checklist. It's not super corporate to have a checklist. And I know I get that one a lot too. Like, we don't want to have that corporate culture. We want it to be more fun, more relaxed. But remember, we're running businesses here. Let's also remember that we're running a business. So, when the prep's not done and labeled, the line's not stocked, the boxes aren't folded, the cups aren't filled, the sides aren't ready, the bags aren't, like, all of these things matter. So you have to methodically go through, pre-rush and make sure that you're ready for whatever is about to come. And then let it be a surprise if it doesn't come. But it should never be a surprise that people are ordering food from you if you're in business, right? You shouldn't be caught off guard by dinner rush. And you know how people are. People always eat at the same time, like no matter what. Like, it's daylight savings is coming up. So we know, all right, rush is gonna happen a little bit later now because it's gonna be lighter later. So when it starts to get dark an hour or 2 hours later, that's when we're gonna start to see it. So we need to be ready for that. You know what I mean? Being ready for customer doesn't mean that you're super corporate. It just means that you can handle the next hour, the next 2 hours, without chaos. That's what we're aiming for. We don't need to be perfect. We can adjust, as we learn and we make decisions based on what we learn through that period. But you got to move those decisions to earlier in the day. You don't want your dinner staff to have to make up for the things that your first shift folks didn't take care of. So you have to spend that time preparing. And I always like to say, like, we're all, even now, there's on a larger scale, we spend all week preparing for Friday and Saturday, but you should spend all day preparing for dinner or spend the morning preparing for lunch. Like, when when your business is coming, you need to do what you can to prepare for that. You know what I mean? It reduces that that little bit of chaos that happens. And you know what happens. First the tickets roll in and it starts getting a little bit crazy because the cooks weren't ready. Then they're mad at the cashiers and the front of house staff, and they're arguing about what's happening. No one wants the cashier asking them how long it's going to take on an order. All these things, it just starts to create a little bit of dissension in the team. So you got to start setting some standards and make it very visible. Own that process. That's got to be a daily thing. A quick, simple checklist to say, hey, look, these are all the things that we need to make sure we have prepared for rush today, every single day. And that will start to really save you some headaches, some time. If you got to get out of there, you don't have to sit at home waiting by the phone for that 911 call, because that's not a system and that's not leadership. As a leader, make sure folks are ready. And if you do have to step out, make sure that they're prepared for what's going to happen when you do step out. Because what if I couldn't go back? What if I was gone? What if I'm, like, we're headed to New York this weekend? What if I'm not in town? I can't help you. And then it goes down, and then the service is poor. The experience is poor. You may lose a guest over it. You may have to start comping orders and things like that. And worst case, you may start to lose people because that kind of environment is chaotic and people don't want to work in that. It's like, it's too much. So listen, start adding a checklist. Figure it out with whatever those things are, no matter what, everybody's story is a little bit different. Figure out those 8 to 10 things that you got to make sure are ready for rush every single day. Create a checklist, print that shit out, put it on a clipboard, check it off every day, 4 o'clock before dinner rush, 7 o'clock before lunch, like whatever your busy periods are, you got to do that every day. Walk the store in a fixed order. We start at the front. We make sure our sodas are stocked. We make sure the cups and straws and napkins are ready to go. We make sure that we have, ink or paper in the printers for customers. So we're not scrambling to look for that. We're making sure that, the front's ready. We got boxes ready. Then we go down the line. We got all of our toppings ready. We got our backups ready. We got sauce. We got cheese. We got, if you're turning on the second oven, we got the oven on, we're ready, we're hot, because if you got to do it when it happens, it's already too late. It's gone. So go through, check everything, solve it. It takes literally probably 10, 15 minutes to make sure that you're ready, just to check. Call a quick little huddle with your team. I'm a big fan of that quick 2-minute huddle before the rush. Like, hey, this is what's going on. Teach your people how to do it. Teach your junior managers how to do it, and let them own that process, because they're the ones that are getting stuck in the shit when you're not there. So let them own that process. Give them that. Understand your sales. And that's the other part of it too. As an owner, you got to understand, when and where your sales are coming from, because that'll help your people out a whole lot better, and you'll help them be better prepared to handle that rush. It's not a rocket science. It's not complicated. You just gotta go through that process. So that's my advice for you today. Stay ready so that you never have to get ready when it's too late, because once it happens, it's over. That's all we got for today. Holla at you. Hey, New York, I'll see you this weekend. We're speaking Monday at the Javits Center, 11 o'clock at the New York Restaurant Show. Just got my stuff booked for Vegas in a couple of weeks for Pizza Expo. Let's meet up. We'll see you there. I'll be recording over at the Perfect Crust Pizza Liner booth. Come see me. I'm there. Come see me. Come say hi. Come get on an episode with me, or let's do a quick little interview, like whatever you want to do. I'm there. Also, we just started our school community, free community for podcast listeners, owners, operators, whatever. I'm dropping all of the tools, all the courses. Even I'll throw this checklist in there. I'll throw, a quick little ready for customer checklist. I'll throw that in there. All of that stuff is going to be there. It's a free community. I'll drop the link in the show notes, and I'll be happy to see you and engage there. I'm posting every single day there. This is kind of like the back room, or the place where we get all of the tools that we talk and discuss here. I've been trying to find the best way to present all of that and do all these things. And listen, it's a great community, and you can come and you can engage with me. You can engage with other owners. We just started this week, so we already got a few members going. Come join us. Come join us. We'll see you next week. It's King Podcast. Peace. If you've gotten any value out of this episode or any of our other episodes, I need you to do me a favor. Go leave us a review. Every review on Apple, every 5-star rating on Spotify helps this show find more operators just like you, and helps them get that same value that you're taking away from this episode. And as a thank you, anytime somebody leaves a review, sends me a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot of your review, I'm going to send you a free gift, something awesome, something cool. I'll send you a gift, whoever leaves a review. That's the challenge. Go leave a review, DM me a screenshot of it, and then I'll get you something. I got you something special from your boy. Now let's get back into the episode. Peace.